Hello guys, welcome to today's video where we will be focusing on some key terms in business that you need to know for anything business related. So let's get into the video. The first key term that you need to know is revenue, which simply means money that's coming into a business. So revenue can come from technically anywhere. If you were selling a product and it was making a lot of sales, that would be revenue. So revenue at its basic is just money that goes into a business. Expenses are the opposite of revenue though. Expenses are the money that goes out of a business. Typical examples are rent, gas and electricity bill, so on and so forth. Profit is money left over after the expenses have been deducted. So profit is revenue minus the expenses. Quantity is pretty basic. It's the number of products sold. Price is the value being paid for one product. So if you go to the supermarket and you buy chips for £1, we know the price is £1. But £1 is the value that the chips is going for. Cash flow is simply money that's flowing into and out of a business. That's it. So money can be flowing in through revenue and profit, and money can flow out through expenses. In summary, revenue is the money coming into a business. Expenses is the money that's going out of a business. Profit is the money left over after expenses have been deducted. Quantity is the number of products sold. Price is the value being paid for one product. And cash flow is the money flowing into and out of a business. Moving on to the equations. Profit is revenue minus the expenses. So profit is the money that's left over, remember, after the expenses are deducted. And revenue is the total money that's coming into a business. To calculate revenue, we use the equation revenue is quantity times price. Revenue is how much total money is coming into a business. The quantity is how much is being sold, and the price is how much is selling for. Other words that can be used in place of revenue include turnover, income, and receipts. So if you hear any of these three, they just mean revenue. So here we can see three graphs. The first one is the relationship between the profit and sales, and there's a revenue line going diagonally up. The second graph is the fixed cost graph, essentially saying the cost usually remains constant, and we can see that it doesn't fluctuate and is a straight line. So the fixed cost doesn't fluctuate according to volume being sold or price or anything like that. The next graph we can see is the relationship between the profit and sales and cost. We can see that the cost is starting at a point higher up than zero and is kind of almost diagonal. So the line starts at the same point as it does for the fixed cost graph. Here are some interesting equations you need to remember. Total cost is variable plus fixed cost, and the average cost is the total cost over the total output. A profitable business is attractive to and for long-term customers who have confidence in the business, potential buyers of the business, so people who want to buy the whole business entirely, and investors. Profit margins. Profit margin is the amount of profit gained from the selling price. So for example, if a bag of chips was £4, and to make it the chips cost £1, the amount of profit gained is £3. Now you multiply the bag of chips sold by 100 because there was 100 bag of chips that were sold. We know the price is £4 and the total cost is £100 because the cost for one is £1, remember. So because we sold 100, the total cost is £100. The amount sold is obviously 100, and the revenue is the price times the quantity. So it's 4 times 100, which is £400, because one bag of chips sells for £4 and you've sold 100 bags of chips. Then the profit is the revenue minus the cost. So it's 400 minus 100, which is 300. Company versus charity. The important difference is that a company wants profit and revenue to run the company, whereas a charity wants income. The revenue is to pay for business operations and make sure all the costs are covered. The profit is the amount of leftover and is used to pay dividends to the board and manager, or CEO. A charity, however, still uses its revenue to pay for the expenses in the charity, but uses its profit to give to other causes, whatever the charity is about. Thank you guys for listening to this video. I hope you learned a few things, and please don't forget to click the subscribe button and like and do all of that. Thank you for watching. Have fun.